All right, hi everyone. My name is Wei Xiang, and you are listening to the hottest thing on campus, Radio Heatwave. With us today, we have an amazing singer who has won the hearts of hundreds of thousands online after a video of her singing Hallelujah into a Wow went viral. Then she went on to produce numerous great songs, two of which have a million plays on Spotify and has almost a million subscribers on YouTube. And it's none other than Tiffany Day. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So how are you doing during this very special
Yeah,
situation?
I'm okay. It could be better, but also it could be worse. And I honestly feel very grateful to, be at home and, have a roof to live under and have a family that is able to continue providing for me at this time. So I'm thankful. I'm grateful. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great. We're just stuck at home trying to find things to do every day.
It's
Right.
normal.
Let's go all the way back to how all of this started. Your singing Noel, the video went viral.
Mhm.
Yeah, so tell me more about it. So how was your initial reaction when you found out that the video blew up on YouTube?
Yeah, it's so funny because I actually don't think I was ever gonna post that video. I had literally taken it and then I remember watching it on the bus with my classmates and I'm super hard on myself, so like I watched it and I was like this doesn't deserve to be posted. So I actually left it alone, like in my phone, like I didn't touch it for a solid 2 weeks. And then one night I was just sitting in my room and I saw it in my camera roll and I thought to myself, I feel like I don't post enough singing videos and stuff on Twitter. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, why not? Just do it. And so I posted it. Like I literally had no intentions of it ever blowing up. And like it was the most casual caption. It was like found this well in Italy, like missing the trip or whatever. And it didn't blow up right away. For the first like couple of days, it kind of gained a little bit of traction here and there. And then by like the fourth day, I think it had hit 1,000 likes. And at that point, I was like, my life, like I'm set. Like a tweet, 1,000 likes, like that's so cool. And so I remember that night I ended up muting the notifications because it started to get kind of annoying. And then I went to bed. And then the next morning I set my alarm for school. I woke up and I picked up my phone and I looked on Twitter and it was at 13,000 likes. And I was like, whoa, what is happening? So I ran to my mother. I showed her my phone. I was like, Mom, look, like my tweet just like kind of blew up overnight. And my mom said to me in somewhat of a joking manner, but also in a serious manner, she was like, just wait until it hits 200,000. And I laughed in her face. I was like, you're so funny, but it's whatever. And then literally in the next like 2 weeks, it had hit like 300,000 likes or something on Twitter. And it was just so crazy. Everything moved so quickly. And it's like, I've never in my life expected to have like a viral video or be like a viral sensation. So it was very, very unexpected. But it was really cool because it, kind of opened the window for a bunch of different opportunities that came after. But yeah.
Yeah, so actually it's all about the first step, which is just to post the video, have the confidence. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so your video not only like went viral in US but all over the world. Actually in Singapore, like it was popping up in my recommendations among my friends as well. We were all talking about it, so it was awesome.
I honestly like that was crazy to me too, the fact that it became kind of a big international thing, like it wasn't just the US, because I think the fact that it was taken in Italy and then but then the fact that it kind of like blew up on like Twitter US, but then it kind of like made its way around everywhere, if that makes sense. And I was really shocked by just how big it really did become.
So let's talk about your latest song, Autopilot. It's already gotten 400,000 plays in less than a month. That's crazy. So great job. And yeah, so what's the inspiration behind this song?
Um
What's the inspiration?
Yeah, so I wrote Autopilot, I want to say like 2 years ago now, around that time. No, maybe a year ago. I'd say a year ago. I wrote it during my freshman year of college. I just finished sophomore year now, so like a year-ish ago. But I really struggled with it. It wasn't even necessarily about being homesick. I'm originally from Kansas, which is like in the middle of the U.S. And then I moved out to California for college, and I thought it was gonna be like a pretty like semi-easy move. Like I love my family, but I was like, it's fine. Like, I'll make friends in college. I won't be lonely. And for the first time in my life, leaving home, I had experienced growing pains and I didn't even know what they were. And basically, like, I just was very, very reluctant and afraid to grow up and to accept any sort of change. And like, at that point in my life, I was like, I would give anything to just live one more year, like under my parents' roof and just like feel like a kid again. And everything felt really scary. And so for like a solid year and a half, I was really struggling with just accepting the fact that I was growing. And I was really sad all the time because of it. And so I would try to distract myself basically. And I remember there was a point during freshman year where I kept myself so incredibly busy, so that I wouldn't have to feel anything at all, and I wouldn't have to feel sad. But at the same time, it was bad because I wasn't feeling happy things either. Like I just wasn't feeling any emotion. I just kept myself so busy. And that's essentially what autopilot is. It's when you like put yourself on autopilot so that you're doing all the things that you need to do, but you're not actually like taking things in like the way that you should when you live life. And it was like a little bit of a wake up call for me too, because I wrote it and then I realized like, damn, I've really been on autopilot. But that's essentially what the song is. And it's just about like realizing that and then trying to change that, I guess. But yeah. That's pretty much it.
So let's talk more about the college and the music thing. So definitely managing both isn't easy at all. So what are some of the challenges that you face?
I think time management really does become your best
Yeah.
friend in college. Like, I think regardless of if you're balancing music, like, I just feel like college is such a hard thing in general that I feel like time management is really a
Yeah.
good idea. I actually really enjoy, it was hard at first, like, coming into it and trying to figure things out just because I didn't even like know what music was and I didn't even know what college was, and so it's hard to like figure out a balance in general. But then I feel like once I kind of got the hang of it, like it's almost low-key kind of a blessing in disguise in a sense. Like I was talking to a lot of my producers this past year about this whole thing, but college really keeps me grounded in the sense that music doesn't ever become too stressful for me. Like music usually is the thing that takes my stress away. And so it's like if I get to go to a session on like a Wednesday night, instead of thinking, oh, I have to go to a session, it's more of like I get to go to a session because it's like it's fun to make music, and it's not like I have to write a song. It's like I get to write a song. It's my treat for the week, you know what I mean? And so in that sort of sense, it like I just feel like college is a really great thing for me. And I also think that if I were to have just, moved out to LA and pursued solely music and like not been in college, I definitely feel like a lot of songs that I have today would not exist because a lot of them are inspired by things that I went through in college and like the people that I've met and just all my experiences with that. And so I feel like college is also just a really good like a creative source as to where I could get experiences and then write about them. So it's honestly best of both worlds. And I feel like as long as you have good time management skills, like you're set, you could totally balance both. But yeah.
Well, the point on time management, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because we are going through the same thing right now.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Just a few days ago, it was the anniversary of I Want My Money Back. So I'm pretty sure a lot of things has changed within the past year. How was it? So what has changed?
Yeah, it's crazy how much like 1 year can really change everything. Because it's so like I Want My Money Back was my first single that I kind of released as an artist, like myself. And I've been, ever since I got out to LA, I was trying to make this transition from being labeled as like a YouTuber and a cover artist to being labeled as like an actual original artist. And the thing is that transition is really, really hard because a lot of people do it and not a lot of people are successful about it. I feel like it's kind of hard to escape the YouTube world. And it wasn't even my intention to fully escape it. I just wanted to be able to kind of convert my YouTube fan base towards like more Spotify, iTunes type of, and so it was really hard to kind of ditch that title. And for like the past whole year, like that was what I was kind of running from. So there would be points where I would be reluctant to like, I don't know, maybe take a certain opportunity because I didn't want to be labeled as like an influencer or a YouTuber. And I try really hard to, push myself towards the path of being labeled as an artist. And it's crazy because after that first song hit, it was a little frustrating because like people took it well, but also I feel like people were still kind of labeling me as YouTuber. And honestly, I think it just really takes time. It takes consistency of just continuously like releasing your own songs. I also think like quality is obviously a big part of it. Like I want to make sure that my stuff is good. But I think this past year, I finally started falling into kind of my niche as who I am as an artist. I want to say low-key in January. So it took a hot second, but I think in January I started to finally feel like I knew what I wanted for myself. And I feel like people started to also kind of finally view me as like artist, and kind of, I've picked up a lot of new fans along the way that didn't even know who YouTuber Tiffany Day was, who only know who like artist Tiffany Day is, which is really cool. But I also think what helped a lot with that was Spotify, like playlist placements and stuff, which, what a blessing. Like I didn't have connections. I literally just submitted my songs through their playlist like consideration thing, and then one morning I woke up and my song was on New Music Friday, and I was like, what is happening? And then I feel like that opened the whole nother window. So it took a long time, and honestly, like I remember the nights where I was so frustrated about this transition, but to be honest, I'm so thankful that the things happened the way that they did, like this past year. And it's really only up from here, so
I'm pretty sure it wasn't an easy move to change at all. And I think the hard work pays off. It's showing.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So is there anyone that you're grateful for that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, my mother. I feel like I always give shout-outs. I give shout out to my parents all the time because they're honestly the most supportive people ever. And my father, I think, is like my biggest fan ever. And my mother just has so many wise things for me to like learn. Like, and I just think that they're both such supportive parents. And I think it's funny too because there's this like stigma that Asian parents aren't super supportive of their kids when they go into like the arts fields and stuff. And honestly, I'm just so thankful that I have parents that really just stand by my side with it. So I'll give a shout out to them.
Is there anyone that you would like to collaborate with in the future?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I think Cautious Clay. He's kind of up and coming. I think he's really, really dope. Dominic Fike. I feel like collaborating with a male artist would be really cool, just because it's like the contrast of voices. And then also writing wise, I would love to get into a session with Jessie Reyes. She's like one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to writing. Like her words just hit so hard. And then also Olivia O'Brien. She has some very like direct writing, which I really like too. But yeah.
Okay, so we talk about change and like how things could like drastically change over the past year. So looking back at like where you started, right? Is there anything that you could have done differently, or you would have done differently?
Yeah, I think if I could tell myself a year or two ago what I know now, I would tell myself to stop holding things and just go. Like, because the thing is, when I was just starting out, I was really concerned with like who I was as an artist, and I wanted to make sure things were really good before I released them. And honestly, like the whole point of finding yourself as an artist is to experiment and to like get kind of crazy with it. And I think I was super reluctant a year ago, but I think that I shouldn't have been. I think I should have kind of like gone for it more, because then I feel like I would have found my sound and my artistry a lot sooner. So definitely that. And then also not to be naive because and honestly I feel like I'm still naive if we're being super honest, but I think myself a year ago was like very naive to the point where I just thought like everyone was like, I'm not saying everyone's like not, I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm just saying it's Hollywood. It's everyone's really looking out for themselves, which is not a bad thing whatsoever, but I think I kind of forgot that. And so I think that that's important to remember too. But yeah.
All right, so what's next for you once the COVID situation gets better?
So I think right now I'm in Kansas, back at home. I'm going back to LA in June, and I think that hopefully, fingers crossed, COVID will be better by then. But I'm only going back because my lease is low-key ending, so I have to go. I have to go like figure that situation out. But also, while I'm back there, I'm planning on finishing up content for my first EP. That's hopefully, fingers crossed. I honestly can't make promises, but I'm gonna try and make this happen as I can. But my first EP in August. And I have plans for actually 4 EPs in the next year or so. And they're all, I don't want to give away too much information, but they're all kind of connected to each other, and they all kind of have underlying themes to them. I'm a firm believer in like projects having themes. And I honestly feel like they're going to be really cool. I've been working on them for a really long time now. Like I've been sitting on the first one for like a solid 2 years, I think. But yeah, 4 EPs and then most likely an album, but we don't have to think that far ahead yet. We're just looking in the near future. So yeah.
Yeah, so out of all the songs that you put out, right, what would you say is your favorite and why?
I think it's Clout Chaser because Oh my goodness. That song is like my child. Like I think it's because I wrote it and I also produced it. Because I do produce a couple of my songs, but I feel like that's honestly the best song that I've ever produced. And I don't know, it's just such a good, like, I think melodically wise and like the words too and everything about it just gives me a really good, like, I'm just very, very proud of it. It's like the song I'm most proud of. And I feel like it's one of the songs that, like, if people ask me like, oh, you're an artist, like, what's your, I would be like, play Cloud Chaser, because like I'm super proud of it. So yeah, that would probably be my favorite song.
Yeah, the first time I heard it, it really got me in the feels, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna play a small little game. It's called Quick Fire. So basically, I ask the question, and then you just answer it the first thing that comes in your head.
Okay, all right. I'm ready.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, first one. Who's your favorite artist?
Jesse Reyes or Bruno Mars.
Okay, if you were allowed to go out, what's the first thing you would do?
Oh, I would get food. I would get a Popeyes chicken sandwich, a spicy Popeyes chicken sandwich. Yes.
Okay, what is one song you wish you wrote and recorded?
Oh, it's called Body Count by Jesse Reyes.
So, what and who do you miss the most while you're stuck at home?
This boy that is in California, I miss a lot. I'll just say that.
Right, your favorite cuisine?
Asian food, Chinese food, rice. I love
Yes,
rice.
Asian food. All right, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Oh, honestly, I really like LA, but I would love to live in like a little bit north up of Los Angeles in like a nice house up in like the Pacific Palisades or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, what is one word that best describes your music?
I think youthful. I feel like that's a good word, youthful. Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Oof, oh my goodness. Hopefully, I will be living in a nice house in the Pacific Palisades. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I hate thinking that far ahead, but I would love to have a substantial amount of money and have done some tours, maybe a lot of good music released. That's probably it. Yeah.
And what's your favorite movie?
Spirited Away.
All right, I know you've done this a lot of times, but what is one weird talent that you have?
Like a weird talent? Can I
Yeah.
like talent? I can pen tap, which is basically like making a beat out of 2 pens.
I see you done it a lot of times on your Instagram live.
Yeah. Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. Are you able to do it now? Are you able to show us a bit of your pen
You want
tapping
me to do
skills?
it right now? Because I can totally
Yeah, yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me find.
Do you have a pen?
I have pencils. Wait, I have this pen. Wait, I have pens. Hold on. I think there's a pen up here. All right, I'm ready. Okay. My thing.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's literally one of the only beats that I know, but I spent a whole weekend learning how to do it when I was in like high school.
Yeah. Yeah. Back then when I was still in secondary school, there's always someone doing it, and then like the teacher would like scream at the person, like stop it. All right, that's all. And so we all have heard from Tiffany. Hopefully she has inspired you in one way or another. So check out her Instagram at Tiff Did What, her YouTube, get her to 1 million subscribers, and watch her space for a new music that will be coming out soon. So no matter if you're in college or not, Tiffany has shown you that it is possible. So keep dreaming, and you're listening to the hottest thing on campus, Radio Heatwave.
Thank you.
Thank you.